Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Stavros Anthony. He's the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Nevada, here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Pro Group Management offers workers' comp services to a growing number of industries. As businesses grow and change with the times, the need for a solid workers' comp program must be flexible and up-to-date. The evolving nature of regulations can make staying ahead of complex tasks challenging. But Pro Group Management simplifies the work so your industry can move forward and succeed. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're always pleased to welcome back to the program Stavros Anthony. He is the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Nevada, running for re-election. Pleasure to have you back on the program, sir.
Great to be with you, Sam.
You're doing this from your home office. It is rare that you are sitting in your home these days. For the last 4 years, you've been traveling all over the state. You just came back from cowboy poetry. Rural tourism is one of the things in your portfolio. How was it?
Cowboy poetry was great. I mean, I love the city of Elko. They're just really great Americans that live up there. And cowboy poetry is such a big weekend for them because they have people from all over the Nevada, all over the country, and really all over the world coming to Elko to celebrate the Western culture and listen to unbelievable poets who not only just do poetry, but they sing, and they have bands up there, and it's really the entertainment is absolutely wonderful. But what's really important is people coming together and talking about ranching and farming and the Western culture and celebrating that. And this was their 41st cowboy poetry gathering, and it was very, very successful. People were just having a great time.
You know what's funny is a comparison, which I'll get to in a moment. But as you know, having experienced just now, that cowboy poetry is a lot of bragging and joking and taunting and all the rest of it in a fun manner. And I was trying to understand rap music years ago. And somebody said to me, well, it's the same as cowboy poetry. And when I saw the movie 8 Mile, I realized it's exactly the same, different genre, but exactly the same kind of topics. It's all about bragging and boasting and jiving the other people in the room.
Yeah, I mean, some of these poets are really funny, but it's really, what the poetry comes down to is it celebrates ranching and farming. It talks about the hardships of being a rancher and a farmer. Most of the poetry talks about cowboys, horses, and cows, and cowgirls, and it talks about the entire culture of ranching and farming, and what people don't really understand in Nevada is that is a big part of our economy. You go to northern Nevada, and there are ranchers and farmers everywhere. And in fact, one of the places I visited when I was in Elko, in between Cowboy Poetry, was Jiggs, Nevada, Jiggs. Hadn't been there before, but it's a little town right in the middle of quite a few ranchers and farmers, and they have a little community center and a bar and a little school and a volunteer firehouse, and it's there uh, just to support the ranchers and farmers. And it was kind of, I mean, I'm not sure if a lieutenant governor has ever been to Jiggs, Nevada, but that's what I do. I try to go all over the state and talk to folks about what's important to them. But Cowboy Poetry Gathering is a big economic boost for Elko every single year, and I'm glad they started it, and I'm glad they continue to take it seriously.
People don't realize now, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is agriculture now the fourth biggest industry because the tech industry has come along so strongly, or is it still the third biggest industry in Nevada?
I think it's still the third. It's pretty significant. I mean, you travel Nevada and you see cows everywhere. There's ranchers and farming and hay and alfalfa. It's all over. It's all over the state. So it's either the second or third. I know obviously tourism's number one. Uh, but the state, you're right. The state is changing. I mean, we're getting a lot of high tech companies that are moving here. A lot of data centers. Quite a few manufacturing companies, warehouses. So the economy is definitely diversifying. So we're going to have tourism. We're going to have tech centers, manufacturing, and agriculture and farming are the biggest drivers of our economy. And you have to include the military. You have quite a few military bases here: Nellis, Creech, Top Gun up in Fallon. The largest Army depot in the country is in Hawthorne, so that's also a big part of our economy.
Let's go back to ranching for a minute because I want to talk about what's going on with immigration. Announcement today from Tom Homan that they're going to pull out 700 ICE offices out of Minnesota over the next few days. That still leaves, I'm guessing, around 2,300 ICE offices still in Minnesota, but I got a funny feeling due to poll numbers that those numbers are going to get significantly reduced. But what are your thoughts on the whole immigration crackdown in terms of our state? Because agriculture, construction, service industries all rely on immigration, and legal and sometimes not so legal. What are your thoughts on that, especially speaking from your unique position as a former captain in Metro?
Well, I mean, first of all, you have to look at the last 4 years in the Biden administration, and they just had open borders and allowed people to come into this country from all over the world. They weren't vetted. They just allowed to come in uh, illegally. Nothing was done about it, and now President Trump has to deal with 10, maybe 20 million people that are in this country illegally. Are we going to deport all of them? Probably not. It's just too many of them. But at least let's start with deporting people here that are illegally that commit crimes. And I think that's what ICE is really working on right now, is trying to get people that are here illegally that commit crimes deported. We don't have any real problems in Nevada because our sheriffs are working with ICE, where if somebody is arrested in one of our counties and they are here illegally, they call ICE, and ICE comes and picks them up, and there are no issues. There's nothing going on. Nobody's getting hurt. Whereas in Minnesota, what they're doing there is they are harboring people that are here illegally that are committing crimes. They're not turning these people over to ICE after their cases are adjudicated, and they're just releasing these criminals, these murderers, these rapists, these uh, committing robberies. They're just releasing them back out in the street instead of turning them over to ICE to get deported. So Minnesota has it completely backwards, and that's why there's so much action going on there. Here in Nevada, we're doing it right, and you see absolutely nothing involving ICE or immigration because we're doing it the right way.
All right, so I got to call you on this a little bit because you look at the state of Minnesota. I find it hard to imagine that the judicial system in Minnesota is allowing murderers to get out of jail unless they're going through the system, getting bail, doing all the things that would normally occur. I mean, it's great politics to be able to say murderers and rapists are being released onto the street. But I find that hard to believe from any administration, Republican or Democrat, that they will be doing that, because I think the public would revolt, just as they have, for example, in San Francisco over the last few years, where things were really getting out of control there. They threw out the DA, and things have changed dramatically in San Francisco because of that. So do you really think that they're letting out rapists and murderers onto the streets in Minnesota?
Yes, they're letting them out on bail.
On bail, but that's legal. That's
But-
that legal system, the same way we have it in Nevada.
But they should be deported. If somebody is here, let's start with somebody is here illegally, they should be deported, period. But it's hard to find those folks. If somebody is arrested and they are here illegally, eventually they should be turned over to ICE in order to be deported. And that is not happening at all in Minnesota. ICE is not being notified when somebody who's here illegally is committing a crime in order to do something with them. Here in Nevada, that is happening. Somebody that is here illegally that is arrested, ICE is notified, and then they both work together. If the charges are dismissed or something happens, they're turned over to ICE and then they're deported. In Minnesota, they're just let out on the street. Even if somebody has committed a crime and they get sentenced in prison for, let's say, a year, Minnesota, they're just releasing them back out on the street, even though they're here illegally, instead of calling ICE to pick them up and deport them. Here, we are notifying ICE, and they are deporting them. So Minnesota is harboring criminals that are here illegally. That's the problem. That's the issue. ICE wants to deport them. Sometimes they even have court orders in order to pick these folks up that are here illegally, that have committed crimes, and deporting them. Minnesota is not allowing ICE access to these criminals to deport them. Here in Nevada, we are. That's why you hear nothing in Nevada about ICE and local law enforcement working together, because they're cooperating. In Minnesota, they are not cooperating. Local police and ICE are not cooperating in order to deport people that are here illegal, that are committing crimes. And that's why you have so much chaos in Minnesota, and you don't have any chaos here.
Well, we can talk about that in a moment, but due process. I'm feeling that you're not suggesting that people are not entitled to due process. Even if they've committed a crime and come here illegally, they are entitled to due process, are they not?
Well, what does that mean, due process? I mean,
Their day in court.
no, these people are not. I mean, they're here illegally, but it's not like they committed a theft, or they committed some kind of a robbery in a criminal court. They are not criminally adjudicated. Immigration courts are not criminal courts, they're civil courts. So they don't really have any due process. If somebody's here illegally and it's determined they're here illegally, they're deported. That's it. There is no due process beyond that. We have immigration courts, and maybe immigration courts can weigh in on it, but these are not criminal courts like district courts. They're just civil courts that determine somebody is here illegally, and boom, they're gone. That's it. There is really no other due process.
Okay.
They don't have a right to an attorney. If they're here illegally, they get deported. And if they cross the border, the next day they can get deported because they're here illegally. So it's not the same due process as United States American has, that is accused of a crime. It's two different things.
Okay, and you're a former law officer, so I'm sure you know a lot more than me, but my understanding is that all people in the United States, whether citizens or not, or whether they've crossed the border illegally or not, are entitled to due process.
if somebody's here illegally and they commit a crime, then they are receive due process in criminal court. But
Okay. Okay.
once that is adjudicated,
Yeah,
there really
no
is,
argument there.
yeah.
No argument there. I'm just trying to make the point that there has to be, and that's part of the problem that's been going on in Minnesota, is that there hasn't been due process in some of these cases. All right, let's move on from that, but let's come back to a story in Nevada that's a bit old now, but it's kind of a scary tale if it were to happen in Nevada, which is that years ago, there was a McDonald's owner, a very well-known and reputable businessman who owned many McDonald's in Reno. And there was a raid on one of his restaurants, and they picked up several people who were working without status. And within 24 hours, every fast food restaurant in Reno had no employees because people were terrified that there were going to be raids at every single fast food restaurant. Does that concern you? That we could end up where, because we've seen this in other states, where people are terrified to go to work because they don't want to go to Home Depot because they could get picked up outside there as a day worker.
Well, Sam, if they're here illegally, they should be picked up and deported. That's period. That's it. I mean, I don't know what else to say on that. You cannot be in this country illegally. We have to have immigration rules. We have to have order when it comes to immigration. So if somebody is here illegally and they're out in front of Home Depot and ICE finds out about it and checks them out and finds out they're here illegally, they should be deported. That's it. I'm pretty black and white, when it comes to that. We can't pick and choose. Well, if you work at McDonald's and you're here illegally, then you can stay in the country. If you're here illegally and you work in a parking lot at Home Depot, you can stay here. We can't do that. We can't have a civilized society if people can sneak over the border and stay here. They have to be deported. And I don't know about this particular story, but I find it hard to believe that all the McDonald's will close down because I can't imagine the only thing McDonald's hires is illegal aliens. I kind of doubt that, but I'm pretty black and white on that. And if people don't like that, well, then maybe we should take some of the illegal aliens that are here and we can take them to people's houses that want them and they can live with them. I doubt that would happen because they're not going to house these folks. And it causes nothing but problems. We have housing issues, we have work issues, and we can't have people here illegally that are taking those jobs and taking housing and really causing a lot of havoc in this country.
Okay, so one last question on this, and then we'll take a break. The federal government or the administration has essentially shut down the border, which is what the majority of people that elected Donald Trump wanted. So that's a good thing for all those people that wanted that. But isn't it time now for Congress to do its job and pass an immigration bill that puts up a big fence, but a big gate too, so that we can get the people we need while keeping out the people we don't?
Well, I don't know what that immigration reform would look like. The only two things I want while we have that debate and the federal government can have that debate is that we keep the border secure and that we deport people here that are illegally. And we do that until the federal government decides that they want to do something different.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back more with the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Nevada after this time out.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
The new year is bringing new ways to win big during the $175,000 Winter Wonderland giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Win up to $5,000 in cash every week and a top prize of $20,000 in cash during the grand finale drawing. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Stavros Anthony. He is the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Nevada, running for re-election. So at the last legislative session, the film studios in Summerlin were once again a big issue. And John Oseguera, the former Speaker of the Nevada Assembly, was on the program, says that he is certain it's coming back in the next session. What's your thoughts on whether we should be getting into the movie industry when everything we're hearing about the movie industry is that it's in decline? Do we give up a lot of revenue over the years to bring the studios here?
You know what? I don't think anybody's against the movie industry coming to Nevada. I think we would welcome them with open arms. It's the tax incentives that people just couldn't stomach. It was, I think, $2 billion in not tax incentives. I can't think of the correct word.
Oh, no, they're incentives.
It's okay. They're basically giveaways. I don't think anybody was really interested in doing that. And that's why I don't believe it passed. If they want to come back with maybe a smaller version, or really, I mean, most people would just say, let's let them survive on their own. They don't need really any tax incentives at all. So we'll see what the next legislative session brings. If something comes up, we'll take a look at it. But nobody wants to do a $2 billion tax incentive for the movie industry.
All right, let's take another break. We'll be right back with the Lieutenant Governor after this time out.
Retail's impact on Nevada's economy? Enormous. 8,600 businesses, large and small, employing 145,000 workers. And last fiscal year, retail paid tax on nearly $60 billion in sales. We're the Retail Association of Nevada. We support retail. We help it grow. And we mean business.
RANNV.org.
You're in trouble with the law. It's easy to think you'll lose everything, but there is hope. I'm Attorney Orrin Johnson. Your first step is to hire a serious attorney with the experience to successfully navigate the legal system for you.
Sometimes hope means addiction treatment instead of jail, and making sure you're treated fairly.
Sometimes hope means fearless trial attorneys will stand up to the government when they get it wrong. Call or text Orrin Johnson Law.
We'll make a plan.
You'll take back your life.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Points are flying out the door during the Point Party Palooza giveaways going on now at the Carson Valley Inn. Up to 1 million points given away each drawing night. And over 1 million in points guaranteed during the grand prize point explosion. Get in on the action at the Carson Valley Inn.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Nevada, Stavros Anthony. You've got a fight coming up here. Probably by the time we get to the general election, it's going to be you and Sandra Haudegui, the majority leader. And your thoughts on how expensive this race is going to be, because she's got some money behind her.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't new to me. I've run for office before, so it's always kind of a fight, and it comes down to raising a lot of money. So I know she's pretty anti Second Amendment. So I know a lot of the anti-gun people will be coming into the state, supporting her and spending a lot of money. A lot of the kind of the woke folks out there, I know she supports men and women's sports, so there'll be a lot of those folks coming in to support her. So yeah, there'll be. I mean, it's not going to be like the governor's race. That's millions and millions of dollars, but there'll be a few $1,000,000 spent on the lieutenant governor's race, and it's really a pick between a very liberal assemblywoman or a conservative, constitutional conservative incumbent Republican like me. So we'll make our case to the voters, and they'll decide.
And of course, we invite her to come back on the program and discuss those points with us. It's always a pleasure to have you on the program, sir. And I know that you thoroughly enjoy this job and traveling all across the great state. So hopefully we'll see you in person next time.
Well, you're a great Nevada, Sam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And we'll be right back.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the heat back on today. Call us today and we'll fix it today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why freeze for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your furnace fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Check out our archives section on NevadaNewsmakers.com. Great interviews going back as far as 2002. Really worth watching. We'll see you on the next broadcast.